The good old days of retiring with a pension. How many people have said, man, back in the old days, everyone had a pension when we retired. It was so much better. I was just doing great compared to that 401k, which is horrible. Let's go back to History of Retirement by my man William Graebner. This guy, I freaking watch these books this guy does. So here's my book, by the way, Relax and Retire. You better buy this doggone thing, because I think, hey, get down. Get it. Oh my goodness. That knucklehead was trying to get some of my bacon. Jeez Louise and blue cheese. He's trying to eat my bacon. How double dog dare you? Oh boy. Anyway, buy this book. It'll give you a lot to subdue your anxiety when it comes to retirement planning and inflation. All right, so let's see my man William Graebner. Look at all those books this guy has written. The Patty's Got a Gun, Patricia Hearst, whatever. The Age of Doubt, American, right here. Engineering Consent and Democracy, Coming of Age in Buffalo, Youth Authority. Rome the Second Time, 50 itineraries that don't get whatever. Right, look at this. This True Stories from the American Past, which I just ordered. Coal Mining Safety in the Progressive Period. A History of Retirement right there. The Age of Doubt and Culture, and the Age of Doubt and Culture of American Thought in the 1940s. I love guys who are thought more than just. I just love guys who are very deep thoughts in terms of different aspects. Let's see if my comment is on here, because I wrote a comment. You bet. Don't look at him. You better get down. Try and get my bacon. Let's see if my comment's on here. Yes, my comment's on there, because I crush. All right, so let's go. No, now Pablo wants his screen time. Pablo, there he is. This is for. Hold on just a second. Oh, that's. Pablo appearance was for Bob and I think her name Jamie out of Connecticut. So hats off to you. I would take my hat off, but my hair is a mess because I haven't showered, haven't shaved, haven't brushed my teeth yet. All right, so let's read this right here. This is I love this stuff. I love people who are deep thinkers and a myriad applications. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Anyway, so right here. In the 1920s, the National Association of Retired Federal Employees was concerned only with annuitants whose retirement incomes would not buy decent shelter, clothing, and food. Annuitants being pensioners. These people wrote of their troubles while remitting the $1 membership fee as a cost of living during the 1920s. A good many wrote the President of the United States. $66 a month, wrote the wife of a long serviceman, would pay rent on about one room in New York City. $66 a month would pay rent on one room in New York City, wrote the wife of a long serviceman. Calvin Coolidge incurred the animosity of hundreds of pensioners who found his economy campaign disgusting and demanded an increase in annuities from the swelling pension fund. Erastus Williamson, 83 years old and retired from the pay department of the Navy Yard, wrote that he and his wife had suffered on the government's maximum civil service pension. If I had not owned my house, I don't know what we would have done. A Chicago postal worker with 37 years experience had deferred his retirement for 3 years because the pension would put him in the Cook County poorhouse. Many who were recently retired and receiving pensions were living with their children and or charity of some kind. Interesting. And we got these letters of the Harding papers, the Coolidge papers. I was looking at actually earlier today, earlier yesterday, I was looking at the Eleanor Roosevelt papers. Let's see what else we got here. Because of inadequate pensions, employees prefer to work and applied for continuance because they were trying to get them to mandatory retire at a certain age. But they said, I can't retire. I can't retire. Crazy. It's just all there is to it. And for those who think that Social Security was designed to protect the incomes and dignity of the poor, the old people, those who favored increased efficiency were the dominant component in the political history of retirement. Efficiency, get the old non-producing people to get the young producing people in. That's what they wanted, because employment was hard to come by. We had more and more young people. In fact, I'm going to share with this quote. This is nuts, man. right here. Right here, 266. Let's look at this. This is nuts. When you hear this, you're like, yeah, this is why they wanted people to leave the workforce, older people, so they could have the young coming in. So right here. When jobs were scarce in the 1930s, the Roosevelts, Eleanor and Franklin, ministered relatively at least to the needs of the youth as opposed to the old. It was the young who threatened disorder and violence and whose political sympathies seemed most crucial. Sharing this perspective, the aged welcomed their own retirement and missed an opportunity to insist on the right to work because they said the youth are going to overthrow us. And don't forget, this is when communism was on the march. Everyone's like, oh my goodness, the shining city on the hill was Moscow. You know, look at the, you know, look at what they're doing. Ford, all this stuff is crazy. FDR favored the young. 268. Check this out. You ready? Watch this. And here we got people who were in the 40s and 50s right here. Hold on a second, let me find it. During this time, work was hard to find. It's unlike it is today. In fact, even people back then, who was it? Peter Drucker was saying there's going to be a shortage of labor because we're just not having enough babies. All right, so in almost every industry, in every period after 1890, the middle-aged found retirement systems frustrating and ineffective. Too old to find work, too young to retire. The middle-aged worker of 55, 50, or even 45 was a constant embarrassment to the American economic and political system. Retirement was the inevitable result of the need to shorten the work life to spread available work. Although forced withdrawal from the workplace might have been interpreted negatively, leisure theorists chose to emphasize technology's potential for freeing Americans for a new form of leisure. And that's kind of interesting. So by the 1960s, therefore, the meaning of retirement had been transformed. Once largely a device for maximizing productivity in a bureaucratic society, retirement had become a state of being, apparently benign, classless, and apolitical. Yep. Right here. This became a possibility only in the context of challenges to American economic hegemony, and only when influential elements within American capitalism had concluded that retirement, as then constituted, was unduly costly as well as inefficient in allocating labor. And so what happened is we had a grand experiment from basically 1950 to 1970 in terms of bringing out pensions and all that for about 20 years there. And that's it, man. And ever since then, it's just literally we have had no history of mass pensions. We had 20 years in there, and after ERISA, and the reason why the private corporations got rid of pensions because ERISA said we can't mandate this the way that ERISA has shown us in 1974. So all these people talk about the pensions were great. It's just, they're freaking wrong, dude. They're wrong, and it's unsustainable as it is now. If you got one, more power to you. More power to you, but governments can't afford it anymore. You know that, I know that. Everybody knows this. So the days of the wealthy pensioners are coming to an end. Oh boy, now I gotta let him out. So what do you do about it? Well, just like that guy said from Chicago, if I did not own my own home, I would be in the poorhouse. I mean, it's just all there is to it, man. There is no panacea of retirement in the past, just none. All these people who are saying this are freaking fat out liars. There is none. From the 1950s to the 1970s, you can make an argument that there was some more pensions that were profitable, were better than they are today, I grant you. But those days came to a crashing halt because of ERISA, because a lot of those pensions in private corporations were well unfunded. Had to go to PBGC. Same thing's going to happen to the government. Same thing, dude. There's not enough money to pay these people. I mean, like, I never forget, I had a California teacher, nice lady too. Well, I don't blame her. Her pension was like $98,000 a year with a guaranteed COLA of like 5% a year plus free health care. She was only 55 years old. And she still paid into Social Security, so, you know, she contributed to it. It wasn't all just government money. In fact, it's interesting here too, because there's another quote, I forgot what it was, but I think I used this, I think I mentioned this yesterday, but basically people said, we would rather have contributory pensions as opposed to just relying on the government to get, or the employer to give us the pension, because it can, if the employer solely determines our fate, A lot of shenanigans can come on there, and that we can be used for political reasons. They will make sure we comply. So contributory pensions give the employee, and that's what FDR wanted too with Social Security. We wanted people to have a say in it. So it wasn't just government largesse. It wasn't a welfare program. It was an entitlement program. And that's what a pension is, an entitlement program. But if you think just, oh my goodness, the pension was so great, everyone was happy, you're freaking wrong, dude. Yeah. Love your thoughts. Buy my book. Yeah, I'll put the link if I remember to put this book in there too. And again, as always, if you want it, if you buy something on Amazon, oops, I don't have it up here. Ooh, right here. I'm looking at these these masonry heater things. Oh man, I love these things. I'd like to learn how to do this. I love that. I like gasifiers, rocket stoves, masonry heaters. Soapstone heaters differ in how they distribute and store heat, because basically what's happening is you're lighting it and it's kind of going around here, the airstream, and it's heating all this brick and rock and stuff. And I got some of those bricks that retain heat, and so when the fire goes out, you're still pushing off heat from that, as opposed to just going all up the chimney. Oh man, so the hot air like circles around here, heating up these stones, and here just whoops up there. You know what I'm saying? So you use a lot less wood, a lot more efficient, and absolutely better when it comes to the particles you're sending into the air. Anyway, so I was saying, if you buy something on Amazon, I'll put the link. Just use my link, man. I'll get paid. I need that money, so pay me, man, by using my Amazon link. And I'll put the link in the notes. And if you buy anything from Amazon, just hit your boy Josh first. Click and buy something from Amazon. No big deal. I don't really advertise. Probably should. Gotta be like Brandon Tatum. Use this link. Blah, 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 blah. I like Brandon Tatum, but I should probably do that every video. I just forget. All right, love your thoughts. We'll see you.